Let's take a trip down memory lane. This time 4 years ago, I was addicted to cheap dopamine, cheap pleasure. I had absolutely zero drive, zero motivation, and I had never been so lost in my life at the time. I didn't know what profitable career path to pursue. And physically, I certainly was way off the mark of where I wanted to be. My social skills in the gutter. I had a severe stutter at the time where I couldn't even pronounce my name, which hindered me and prevented me from socializing and interacting with others, going for job interviews, etc., etc. I was in dire straits, especially from my perspective and my point of view. And I kept asking myself, why can't I change? You know, why couldn't I develop into the man that I wanted to become? Why couldn't I be on the path to becoming the finished article? I pondered for so long. I asked myself many questions. There were many times where I sat and stared at a wall in my room and just with no distraction, thinking of answers, and my mind was blank on a continuous basis. I would go for long trips and long walks on my own and sitting on park benches, wondering and pondering. And for a very long time, I didn't have the answers. The first thing that you need to understand, and I'm going to couple this with goal setting. Goal setting is absolutely a phenomenal tool. And especially on self-development, you must goal set. You have to set goals. If you don't set goals, then to me, it's mind-baffling. It's mind-boggling. You have to not just have goals, but you have to write them down. But that is not enough. Because obviously, as we know, it needs to be broken down into actionable steps. But going in even further, this is where the introspection occurs. The reason you haven't achieved your goals, the reason why you are not the finished article, the reason why you are not on the right track is not necessarily because you're setting outlandish goals. It's nothing to do with that. What it comes down to is two key elements. One is negative beliefs, negative belief systems, self-limiting belief systems essentially. But as well as that, what else is holding you back is the identity. The identity is very important. I've briefly spoken about this before a very long time ago on this channel, but it's your current identity which couples with the negative belief system. So when it comes to identity, I hear this a lot, and a lot of my friends, they vape, they smoke. I know a lot of people that smoke, and some of them, fair play to them, 2 or 3 of these individuals, they have attempted to quit smoking in the past. But when I overhear them say to other people, maybe strangers might offer them a cigarette, they say, no, I'm trying to quit. The paradigm, the mentality is wrong. They are saying, I'm trying to quit. What that informs me is they will eventually falter and they will take the cigarette, maybe not today, but they will take it in 2-3 weeks and eventually relapse. Because why? It's the identity. I am trying to. They haven't formed a new identity. And that is the issue. You're setting new goals and tasks and aspirations of who you want to be in 3 years, but you made these goals 3 years ago, yet you haven't accomplished them. Why? The problem is the goals that you set, they are not aligned with the person that you are. They are not aligned with your values and beliefs, your core values and beliefs, and they are not aligned with your identification, your core identity. The reason you haven't achieved what you wanted to achieve is because your identity is not correct. Before, setting goals is great, but before we even get to that point, we need to go a step further and we need to break down what your identity is. At the beginning of this video, I broke down exactly the current predicament and the current situation that I was in. I was in dire straits. My identity was not very good. See, it wasn't a good reflection of myself, and I knew that I was very far from my potential. So what you must do first is, first of all, understand, okay, these are the goals and these are the aspirations. What type of person do I need to become in order for me to achieve that goal? What are some of the characteristics? What are some of the traits? Take some time with a pen and paper in silence and just jot these traits down. Is he an individual that's confident? Is he stoic? Is he hardworking? Is he focused? Is he disciplined? I'm just giving you examples, right? What type of individual achieves goals? What type of individual is going to achieve the desires and aspirations that you have? Because right now, your current identity is keeping you locked in. Your current identity is a million miles away from achieving what you need to achieve. So first of all, you have to break that down. And once we've identified the values and traits that are aligned with your aspirations, what we need to then develop and delve into is your negative belief systems. I hear a lot of people say, I can't start a YouTube channel. I can't start that business because I don't have the right connection. I don't want to take that phone call because I don't have enough technical knowledge. Some of these comments may be perceived as true, but you've already shot yourself in the foot by making these comments. You have basically lost the war before the battle has even begun. You have not even allowed yourself to give yourself a chance to attempt, to try. You've already shot yourself in the foot, basically. You may as well have grabbed the handgun, point it to your head, and then just pull the trigger. Because you basically, inevitably, you've ultimately just done that. You've set yourself back so far. And that is what I find with a lot of people in the self-development community, but a lot of people outside in society. They've lost the war before it's even begun, because the first battle is in the mind. And I know it's very corny, I know it's very cliche, I get all of that, but it's very important, because without the correct belief system, when someone says to me, I can't, but I don't know how, and I'm broke, it's the absolute worst things that you can say. It is poison for the mind, because as I said, you haven't even attempted, you haven't even tried, or you haven't even attempted at this specific endeavor, and you've already grabbed the shotgun and shot yourself in the foot. So what do you expect? What do you think is going to happen with that lack of confidence, with that lack of conviction? Conviction is a key word that I speak about. It's consistent through my videos. Conviction is so important, because a man that might not have the technical knowledge or the technical ability, but he has the will and he has the desire and he has the conviction, and he says, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. And even if I fail and slam on the ground, flat on my face, I'm going to get back up, reflect, see where I went wrong, and refine, correct, and then go again. Compared to the person that sits there and says, oh, I can't do it. He gets inside of his own head, I can't do this, I need to plan this, and they procrastinate further, and then fear was instilled into him. Tim Ferriss put this perfectly. Fear, inaction, simply breeds fear. So the longer you take to do something, the less likely you are to actually get the action done. But what you're also doing simultaneously is you're breeding more fear within you. So eventually, you're never going to actually do what you wanted to do. And those aspirations and those goals, they always elude you. They simply fade away over time. So the first thing is a negative self-limiting beliefs. Write it all down. Why do you think you can't do something? What is it that's specifically stopping you? And then what you need to understand and ascertain is the values and identities, the values and beliefs that are aligned with your specific goals, target, aspirations, your current identity, that gap in between, and what you need to do to close that gap. It's doing that deep introspection, because you just setting a goal and writing your goal down now with your current identity and your current belief system, you're going to be in the same position this time in 3 years. You have to understand what your current identity is, what is the new identity that you want to form. And then finally, it's formulating the right systems. So this ties in perfectly. You have the goal, you have the aspiration. Now it's formulating the system. What is it that you have to do on a daily basis to achieve the desired goal? So, for example, let's say I don't know your physique, I don't know your body type, I don't know your aspirations. So of course it is going to be tailor-made to you. You might be a certain weight, okay? And you want to put on 10 kilograms, mainly muscle. You have a specific time frame. You want to be an athletic, muscular build. You have a specific time frame. You want to put on 10 kilograms, which is nearly 1.5 stones. Okay, that is a target in mind. What is it that you have to do on a daily basis? So that is a very simple example, but it's essentially, you understand the point that I'm making. It's breaking it down into simple steps, the daily tasks that you need to do. And that there is formulating the right system to help you attain the goal that you want to attain, which is essentially what James Clear speaks about in the book Atomic Habits. So with all the points that I made, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Hopefully you've derived value from this video. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.